Star Trek 57, M23, take 2.
It's the It's Got Star Trek podcast.
Promise.
Will you be the better man as Javera or in service to Minnie?
It's not that easy. My people need me.
That is not what I asked.
You don't get it. My people need me. Try and understand. I'm here. I won't bail on my family. My world. I can't just do what you did. You cut and ran.
Tell yourself whatever you want. I'm sure you will find a way to live with yourself. You always do. That is my co-sign toast. You deliver it yourself. I am finding my way back to Earth.
Hello and welcome.
Sniff, 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 blah, 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 clear throat, blah, blah.
There's a booger cast.
Hello, and welcome.
My name is Dan.
to we're off to an illustrious start. Hello and welcome to the It's Got Star Trek podcast.
Present. And accounted for.
A serious fucking Vulcan.
Hi there.
You mean Klingon?
Hi there, everybody.
Oh God, I always mix that up in my brain.
Yeah, which is
brain damage.
crazy. I mean, it must be brain.
I know.
Just Jesse's got the brain damage.
I've got it.
The brain damage.
I believe it.
Yes, hello.
Hi.
And,
Moving along.
This is the It's Got Star Trek podcast.
Yes.
We have achieved, after recording many of these, we have achieved the distinction of arriving at episode number 329 of the It's Got Star Trek podcast.
That's a lot of fun.
It is. It's good. And that doesn't even count bonus episodes.
That's right. It's
and,
not Star Trek.
It's not Star Treks and doodads.
Pickles and Alf.
Patreon stuff that we took out from behind the Patreon vaults.
That's right.
No kidding.
No kidding.
Even more than that. Welcome to the
No
podcast,
kidding,
episode
Klingon.
329.
Yeah.
And this week we will be discussing Star Trek, Starfleet Academy, Season 1,
Episode 7.
Episode. Is it? Yeah, it is episode 7, right?
Yeah. I'm glad I said something.
Episode 7.
I said it wrong.
Titled Cozine.
Nothing I've done will ever matter as much as this.
Cozine sounds very closely similar to cosine.
Yeah.
Because they say cosine, actually. I think it's cosine.
Is it cosine?
Wait, let me.
There's a question.
Wait, there's
a question about the pronunciation.
This is
Pronunciation.
the whole conversation. This is the whole interaction between Jaden and Darum this episode.
Okay.
Jaden.
Darum,
Cosine.
I be so.
Pretty much sums it up.
I interpret it as I thought of the cosine thing as well, but also the word cousin. I don't know how that applies in this case. It really doesn't, but it's
Cosine.
So it's cosine. According to the Kionian, it's a cosine, which sounds like cosine. Yeah. Which sounds like he's going to co-sign the wedding for him because he's the best man. He's going to not like the like the mathematics cosine. He's a cosigner.
There's a sine, cosine, and tangent. Is that the other one? Tangent.
Yeah, tangent.
All right. Good.
All right. Did it.
Hey, we know about those.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's what we're.
That's how you figure out shapes and stuff.
That's what
angles.
We will be discussing
Geometries.
that this week, and of course, we'll have a number of other good old-fashioned regular It's Got Star Trek style segments.
Okie doke.
Later on, we'll do where the hell have I heard that before?
Some duties or something.
Dan, do we have any duty or no duties this week?
Maybe.
Some tutti frutti.
I would expect so. I didn't pay attention, but I would expect so, given that at least one of the core themes of this episode centers around Juan's duty to their culture.
It really does, yeah.
Who cares?
Okay, so Dan is remaining in sound clip communication only mode, which I'm fine with.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
I don't think I'm that fine with it.
I'm guessing from what Dan's playing there that we'll probably have at least one duty or no duty.
Yes to all of it, to everything, always yes.
Any lists?
Made a promise.
Any lists?
I made a promise, Mr. Frodo.
Made a promise.
A promise.
Any lists, Dan? Dan he's looking through his sound clips to see if he can find something that responds. Did she say "uh-huh"? Was that the clip? Mm-hmm. Okay, so there are some lists. Something to look forward to, folks. Are there any that's and orders? We haven't seen that in a while. Okay, all right. Apparently there are no that's and orders.
I didn't think so.
No.
This week, but there is.
No.
There is.
Do you know who said this?
No.
Play it again.
No.
No. Play it.
No.
I don't know. Who said that?
It's your favorite character.
Which one's my favorite character?
No.
Well, you like her name the most.
Oh, Genesis Live.
Yeah. every time
He always does
I was
that.
listening to part of the podcast last week, and I was like, I noticed like he's still doing the live thing. Like when
This is fucking
whenever he
hilarious.
says Genesis, he always goes live, jealous.
Jealous. Yeah, it's a great name.
Yeah.
It's a hilarious.
No,
name.
I appreciate that you're sticking with it.
Very on the nose.
Yeah.
As they say.
He's a sociopath.
Okay, so I think we covered most of the basic bits. Okay,
Probably.
before we get into our discussion, we've got
It will blow up protocol.
we've got a couple things. We do have a voicemail.
We sometimes
Everything's happened so fast.
I have a request from Dan. For Dan, I should say. I have a personal request, request for Dan, and then we'll start the discussion. But first, I wanted to pass along what I thought was this is a very selfish on my part, on our part, I suppose. Jesse and Dan haven't heard this yet, but on Mastodon, we're on all the social media stuff, or at least most of them, at It's Got Star Trek. And on Mastodon, one of our longtime fans, Elena, wrote what I just thought was a really nice note. I appreciated it. She said, "I have to tell you something. I listen to you often while commuting by bike. And because you are funny, I have to laugh a lot, or at least grin, which makes the people who pass me by smile at me in a way they don't when I have a neutral face. So basically, you make people smile without them even knowing you exist. I'd say that's your superpower." I was reading that and I was like,
That's very sweet.
Honestly, I was tearing up a little
pretty
bit.
good.
Thank you so much, Elena, because we enjoy doing this, but
It's cool when happiness is infectious and not just like vitriol and anger.
Right. And you caused it.
any small
You did too.
You did.
You did. And hey, that guy over
That
there
guy.
too. That guy.
any small amount of joy, if we can increase,
And Elena did too.
Yeah.
whatever the unit of measure for
said
global joy, for global joy is. If anything we do can increase that even one micro unit, then we've
He said it again.
Except he said micro.
tiny
Micro
penis.
unit.
Little tiny penis.
Macro units.
Thank you, Elena. We appreciate that, and it makes it all the more worthwhile to get together and be silly each and every week.
Thank you.
While getting to talk about how awesome Star Trek is. Which is great and really easy to do so far with Starfleet Academy, because by and large it's been highly entertaining. All right, next we do have a voicemail from Grayson. Now Grayson has also sent in a guess for Where the Hell Have I Heard That Before?
Perfect.
Perfect. Flawless victory. Absolutely perfect. Flawless victory.
Perfect.
Perfect. And he's also he's got a voicemail that I'm going to play part of the voicemail now because it's appropriate to play it now, and then we're going to include the other part of his voicemail as a second break discussion him up.
Hell yeah.
Because he offers some, I think, interesting observations that we'll enjoy responding to.
Absolutely perfect.
But first, let me play the first portion, which is actually the last portion of the voicemail from Grayson, but you all won't know that. Grayson will.
Wow.
I'll know that because I chopped it up into pieces, but this is the last portion, but I'm going to play it first. All right.
Chopped into pieces.
That scared the shit out of me.
Patrick, I'm a newbie podcaster, so maybe I don't know the rules here, but I have noticed that you promote bits and bobs like Duty or No Duty or Muffin Mouth or various and sundry other fun-em-ups by announcing that they will be coming in the upcoming breaks. However, they do not appear in the breaks. They appear in the segments. To my brain, the breaks are what happens between the segments. So if those things actually air during the breaks, we wouldn't get to hear them. And yet here we are hearing them. So what I've done is I've just come to accept that within the extended It's Got Star Trek universe of this podcast, a break is a segment, much like I have accepted that the bridge of Pike's Enterprise is the same bridge as Kirk's Enterprise and that Klingons are always Klingons no matter what they look like. But I've gone on too long. I should take a segment and let you guys respond. I'll listen for your reply in the next break. Thanks. Bye.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
You don't get it.
So
I don't get it.
First.
Thanks, Agamus.
First, and
this does not originate with us.
First and foremost, and Dan, I'm glad Dan is here because I think Dan is going to be.
We've discussed this before amongst ourselves.
I think Dan will help back me up on this. I'm hoping, unless I'm much confused about how these things work. But before all that, I did want to.
I want to state though that this has also, even though this did not originate with us, this has forever and to this day has confused me.
Sure. The first thing I want to note is everyone who is listening to this podcast must scurry over as swiftly as they can to their podcast device of choice and subscribe to Grayson's podcast, The Prime Detective, which combines Star Trek and true crime in a short form podcast that is extremely well produced, well researched, and super entertaining. Go check it out.
Yes to all of it, to everything, always, yes.
But to answer your question, Grayson, and because you're not the first person to be confused by this, we've been confused by this.
And like I said, I'm still confused.
Other listeners have been confused by this, but this goes back to the old radio days. Dan has some experience in working in radio. I have a lot of experience in listening to radio.
We're old.
We are old.
Jesse's dad worked for radio.
Yeah, he worked for NPR.
The thing is that although it is confusing, that the term of art that we were familiar with growing up was that what you refer to as segments were indeed called breaks. So yeah, you had your ad break, but that they would refer to the different components of the show in between the ad breaks as break 1, break 2, break 3, whatever the way they did it was. And that continues not only in our podcast. When I listen to podcasts like Comedy Bang Bang World podcast, like Scott Ackerman's various things, he will also refer to the next break, etc. So I think, again, people who did radio stuff or were closely associated with radio back in the day, that's something that we picked up along the way. Is that a fair description of events?
I agree with what you said. And like I said, it still doesn't make, I mean, it makes sense, like the logic makes sense, but it's needlessly it's needlessly obfuscating.
It's confusing.
Is obfuscatory a word?
I'm happy to accept it as a word because I enjoy
watching me try to say it.
That's always been a hard word for me to say.
Yeah, I enjoy you saying the word. Yeah.
But I don't know like why they decided to be purposefully confusing like that.
I'll just figure it out. I will.
So there you go. that's the answer to that.
So there
Grayson?
breaks. We broke
That's the breaks.
We broke
man.
it here. We broke it there. We broke it
Them's the
everywhere.
breaks.
But we have different kinds of breaks.
These are the
Okay.
breaks.
Even though sometimes breaks are referred to as segments. Now, I'm a big fan of saying bottom of the hour to this day, even though like analog clocks aren't.
You just like bottoms.
I like bottoms because I got duty humor. No, because I like the idea that that you're sort of referencing time in a spatial context.
I like that. I like that too. I also
it
like
means,
that.
of course, bottom of the hour means the hour 30, like 9:30, 8:30, that bottom of the hour, because
It's at the bottom.
the hand points bottom.
It's cool.
And the top of the hour is on the hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is weird how the clock makes it all spatial.
Yeah.
Like the actual like analog
Clocks are
weirdness.
Clocks are wild.
All right, now
Didn't you know some guy who can't read analog clocks?
Oh yeah, fella went to school with.
I know a few people.
He went to. He ended up
It's not that easy.
to a very exclusive magnet school for science and technology, and very, very smart fella. No doubt is leading a wonderful and a successful life now, but he could not read an analog clock. He had to read a digital clock, and people thought that was amusing and peculiar.
But nowadays, I don't think. Does anybody read analog clocks?
I mean, you mean of the younger folk?
Yeah, younger folks.
I don't know.
I mean,
They don't-
and I don't really.
They don't teach them cursive.
Does
I
it
don't-
really? Do they really need to know how to do analog?
It's fun.
I mean, it's fun and archaic or whatever.
You can get court-martialed for that.
Okay, and last thing.
Shut up.
Last
And
thing.
thank you.
Last thing before we delve into our discussion. In a previous episode, in the last week's episode, Dan played a quote from Nustafer Braka. And I said that there was a part of it that sounded super familiar to something, and I couldn't place it. And in the intervening time, I realized what I thought it sounded like. It's another Star Trek thing. So Dan, if you wouldn't mind, if it's not too much trouble, are you able to find the clip where Noose Braka is saying, "Oh, you noticed. Oh, you noticed. Oh, you noticed. Oh, you noticed."
Wait,
something along those lines. It's Noose Braka last week's episode saying, "Oh, you noticed."
Wait, was it wait,
Car 54, where
Wait,
are you? Talk about a joke that no one's gonna
No
get.
one's getting that one.
Ooh, Gunther Tootie.
Gunther fucking Tootie.
Oh, you noticed.
There you go. Play that one more time.
Oh, you noticed.
All right, now listen to this.
I love our show, but movies. That's how you change hearts.
That's what it reminded me of.
Oh, you noticed. I love our show, but you noticed.
It's a similar cadence.
That's how you
Oh,
change
it's
similar.
hearts and minds, kids.
That was that was sticking in my craw last week, and I wanted to remove it. I wanted to
Remove that
remove
craw.
it from the craw.
Where's that cross sticking? Is it in your craw? No, it's in
that
your
sounds
craw.
painful, dog.
What was in your the sound? The irritation was in your craw.
Yeah,
Twice.
So now your craw is
Twice.
fine.
it was stuck up in there, man.
It took me a minute to find that because at first I thought you were talking about the sound where they played the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles guitar riff.
That was awesome. I still haven't. Yeah, I should have clipped that from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Because I was looking for that, and then I realized you were talking about something different.
Okay.
Something different.
All right, that's all the
Same
fun
set
matter.
different.
We've accomplished everything. Record time. Doing great.
Not too shabby.
Now let's talk about Cosine or
17
Cosine,
Everything's happened so fast.
Fast.
which we can describe simply
Cosine.
as
Not cosine.
I already corrected myself.
Oh.
I did it. I said it wrong and then I corrected myself.
Okay.
But we can describe this episode as the Hogwarts winter break,
Yeah.
aka All World's Day. Now I have bristled.
Is that even a thing?
I have bristled at. I have pushed back at what I think are very sort of simplistic and ill-intended comparisons between this show and Harry Potter.
I get that.
And I still assert that. However, it is true that it was common in the Harry Potter books to be like, well, everyone's going on winter vacation, but Harry Potter's an orphan, so he's going to hang around the castle.
Did everybody go back to like
Shit.
some weird place.
Yeah, they would go back to their
because
home.
everyone was just going back around the galaxy or like to Duluth or whatever.
Duluth, right? Yeah,
Are you sure
Reno,
about that?
Reno is all
Can I talk you about
shitting on Duluth.
I like the Duluth joke. But before we get too far into it, I did want to observe that I enjoyed this. I like that they did this. Last week's episode was very traumatic, action-packed. It was intense.
Did you say traumatic?
Yeah, traumatic.
I thought you sure you don't mean dramatic?
No, I mean like as in the characters experienced trauma.
Yeah.
Right?
Somebody died.
Okay.
Fair point,
sorry,
though.
Right, no.
To clarify,
Fair dinkum.
I don't mean as an audience member that I experienced trauma.
I understand what you're
I
saying.
can understand.
The,
that would be
the
a
hologram chick is all glitchy now.
Yeah. So
Holograms?
the characters experienced trauma,
Holograms.
and in this episode, they're going for the much calmer, character-focused episode, which is similar to, for example, on TNG after Best of Both Worlds, which was super crazy,
Right.
action-packed galaxy craziness.
He goes to France.
He goes to France in family and works some shit out with himself and his brother.
You
right?
deserve it.
This is a similarly oriented and placed episode, so that's the vibe they're going for. Next week's episode, of course, deals a little bit more directly with the trauma, but this is that kind of like what do you call it? It's like a break from the action for a bit.
I don't know if this is appropriate to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. I was distracted by Caleb with his shirt off when he was like laying down. It was distracting to me. And I'm sorry. I know that's probably not an appropriate thing.
They haven't really
to
showed
say.
off that guy's bod too much.
Yeah.
So he was.
He's so huge.
He was kicking. Yeah.
They've been increasingly, they're finding excuses to take his shirt off.
Yeah, he's like bulky
like,
to the point where
did
it's
he
like
go swimming in the aquarium?
Yeah, I wasn't sure why he was sunning in the middle of like this
He was like, "We have
conference.
an
That's where the
aquarium."
sunbeam was. It was like everything in the show is a Starfleet Delta emblem. Like everything. So it's like
That's the only sunlight
sunbeam
they
looks
get.
like a Starfleet Delta. The uniforms have deltas all over.
He was doing the cucumbers on his eyes,
Yeah.
but then he ate the cucumbers.
Yeah, he was crunching it.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, why not?
But he looked even bigger with like when he was just in his skivvies.
He's a hilariously massive human being.
It's like the muscles are so big you can tell they're pushing his limbs outward. Like
he
was-
probably has some sort of severe kidney or liver issues because of just the muscles fighting with each other for space.
I mentioned this before off podcast, and this is a little bit salacious.
Just so you mean on the private, just sort of
And
like
Patrick. I think Patrick will know. Jesse, I don't know if I mentioned this around you, but I think Patrick will know what I'm talking about pretty soon. But it kind of reminded me of the story I heard about Willem Dafoe.
With Willem Dafoe.
Wait, I'm telling a story.
All right.
I'm telling a story.
Right.
Willem
This is
Dafoe.
Dan's
I'm in
story.
audience mode. I'm gonna grab my. I'm sipping a nice IPA out of a USS Cerritos pint glass. So I will focus on that and pay rapt attention.
And thank you.
To Dan's story.
Thank you.
I'm getting increasingly excited to hear.
So the story that I read about Willem Dafoe is that there was a movie he was in. A movie. And in this movie he had full frontal nudity. But if you don't know a thing or two about Willem Dafoe, is he's got a particularly large member.
Right.
It's known medically. The medical term is it's a hilariously huge dick.
Yeah, I would call it a macro penis. That's what I'd call a macro penis.
Okay.
I'd call that a
That's
macro
what
penis.
Macro is.
Yeah. But we won't have that argument. Patrick calls it a ridiculous, hilariously huge member. I call it a macro penis. Tit for tat, potato, potato.
Potato.
Speege and spooge. Like, we got it.
Okay.
But anyway, so he's got and there's actually a video you can see online when he's in some kind of comedy improv troupe on the 70s, and they're all dancing around naked, and he's all dancing
right.
around. And
They did that in the 70s.
his thing's all
right?
swinging around like a trunk, like an elephant's trunk.
For folks who aren't aware, and Willem Dafoe is amazing.
Yes.
This is in no way meant to, we're not trying to disparage him.
No, not at all.
I mean, I don't think we are, but
No.
just in case people think we are, we're not trying to make fun of him. But it is fair to say, go Google search, it's very easy to find this video of Willem Dafoe prancing about naked, because his penis is comically large.
Yes.
And you don't know what that means until you see this video with him earnestly prancing about doing some performance.
Just doing a silly, innocent dance.
With a huge,
In the 70s.
long, floppy. I mean, he's not erect. It's not salacious in any way. It's a very touching performance he's doing, except that his penis is just comically flapping around.
It could have injured somebody.
So in this movie, they actually got a stunt cock in there.
By the way, I believe it's Lars von Trier's. Was it Nymphomaniac?
Is that I can't remember the name.
It was it was either It's Lars von Trier. I'm pretty sure either Nymphomaniac or one of those fucked up crazy.
And
Lars
the reason they got a body double for this penis is because they thought the audience would be confused by it. The penis was so large,
was so confusing.
It was comically large.
What's going on there?
They thought the audience would get confused. Like, and I can understand. Like, you see a penis like that, you start thinking like, is this part of? Is it big for a reason?
And now I understand the analogy that Dan's driving. I get it. I get what you're saying.
And you see this penis, and you think like, did they make it this big on purpose? Does that somehow apply to?
Is it a thematic thing?
Is that applied to the plot somehow? Does this somehow matter? It's like, no, the size of the penis has nothing to do with the plot of the movie, but he was afraid that it would come across as having meaning where there was no meaning. And so that's kind of what vibes I was getting from Caleb with his shirt off. I was like looking at that his huge buff body, and I was thinking like, I was confused in that way. I was like,
how big is this guy's penis?
No, I was not thinking that.
No.
I mean, I'm happy to just sort of listen to Dan describing Caleb's body a little bit.
And knowing that, I mean, I knew from the start that this was not part of the act. Like, it wasn't. But I start to wonder, I actually start to wonder, did they pick Caleb? Did his body size come into play at all when they hired him? I don't think so.
You mean the actor?
But see, the thing is he's really good at playing Caleb. Like, I don't care.
Totally.
I don't care if he was like super buff or super not buff. It wouldn't affect my opinion of his acting or his character. So I don't think they picked him based upon his buffness. But when somebody is that buff, I can't help but wonder if that somehow played into it. And I'm gonna go with the Willem Dafoe penis thing, where I'm gonna say no, it has nothing to do with like Caleb as an actor. What's his actor's name?
The actor's name is Sandros something or other. Right?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with it has nothing to do with the actor. It has nothing to do with the character. I think it's all incidental. But when you see his buff body like that, all shirt off and everything,
it was a weird shot.
It's just like, wow. It looks like he just got a pump going too. It looks like he just lifted a bunch after it. Anyways,
he's all glistening.
So I'm just like letting you all know what's going through my head while I'm watching this episode. Willem Dafoe's penis, that kind of thing.
Now that you've brought it up,
swinging around.
I agree. Probably it was largely incidental. However,
large indeed.
I do think that his impressive, imposing frame makes the sensitivity that he has, the problems that he's facing. I do think in some ways it makes it sort of interesting because he's presented as highly capable, highly powerful, escapes all these jails, all this other stuff. So when you have a character like that who is then dealing with some mental, social, other things, I don't know if it's right or wrong of me, but in some ways it makes it more interesting as opposed to if he were, I don't know, like a Weasley little, like a slithery little Weasley.
Okay,
fella.
so I mean, this guy's like a great
like Occam.
This guy's like he's super smart. He's a great hacker. He's better.
Totally hacking.
He's a better hacker than the strongest technical minds in Starfleet because he can hack into the fucking bridge.
Yeah.
Like that is like
hack into the mainframe.
He can hack into the total mainframe.
It's like that movie Hackers.
And so
he totally accessed the mainframe.
He can hack into the mainframe. He can hack into the bridge. He can hack in wherever he wants. Bypass security measures put in by the smartest minds in Starfleet. Where does he have time to learn all that and stay as huge as he is?
I know, right?
Like he must not rest.
Because he's been like running from the man.
Yeah, because when it's not like to get that big and to remain that big takes a lot of time.
For a regular human, it could be what they're subtly telling us. Maybe he's genetically engineered. Maybe he's got some other thing. Star Trek is weird.
Well, Bashir was genetically engineered and he wasn't big and buff.
Because they didn't.
Oh, they did put in his brain.
His parents didn't pay for that.
They paid for the brain.
They paid for the brain, and they also wanted him to play racquetball and silly variants of racquetball.
Oh yeah,
so they gave him like fast hand-eye coordination.
I bet Caleb wouldn't be so great at.
Bashir was. Do you know what Bashir was? Bashir was lithe.
Yeah, he was lithe.
I don't know if he was Genesis lithe, but he was. He was pretty lithe. You remember when Bashir was he would dress up in that little racquetball outfit?
Do you think
and O'Brien would be like, what the What the fuck are you wearing?
Chief O'Brien.
Garrick liked it.
So we've established that Caleb probably wouldn't be as strong at tennis, but how would he be at Parisi's squares? Because that's dangerous.
I don't know enough about the brilliant gag with Parisi's squares. We never get to see it.
Yeah, we don't know what it is.
We keep being told that it's horrifically dangerous and stupid to play.
Yeah.
Shit.
All right. How about this? Why don't we take a break? We're going to take a break.
Take a break.
And then when we get back, we're going to continue to discuss this episode, including a contribution to the discussion recorded by Grayson. So I'll play that. And some duties and no duties lists and who's he, what's it, and all that. So
Who's he, what's it?
all of that and more when we return. We will be right back.
Goodbye.
Let's go home,
Give it a minute.
friend.
Whoops. I fucked it.
All right, why don't you unfuck that? Dan?
Okay.
How about this? Hold on.
Wait.
No, hold on. Let me lead you into it, okay?
Ah, fucked it up.
All right.
It's all ruined.
And we will be right. Okay, Jesse. How about Jesse? Why don't you say it? Why don't you take the honors? Just say we'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Goodbye.
Let's go home, friend.
Give it a minute.
There we go.
There, I did it. Joke not ruined.
And we're back.
Hanging out, you know. We call it a ceiling.
Not a ceiling.
No.
A ceiling.
It did momentarily confuse me.
Yeah.
When Darren was like, it's a ceiling. I looked up.
It was all open sky on that planet.
Okay.
All right,
that planet. Wait, real quick. That planet. First of all, it looked like Arizona or something.
Yeah.
But like it
looked
also.
like a nightmare.
I actually I have a picture of my wife in, I think,
My wife.
You know that hole that the camera goes through at the beginning, the little orange rock hole. There's there's like an arch.
Is that one of those famous arches?
I don't know if it's that famous, but there's like
My wife!
in Phoenix. In Phoenix, there's one of those, and I have pictures of my family like sitting in it.
Oh, totally.
I don't get to sit.
But what
I
I
was the one who takes the picture.
Well, what I was going to say.
Okay.
What were you going to say?
Nice. My wife. My wife. My wife. My wife.
Is that what you were gonna say?
No. What I was going to say is that it kind of reminded me of a Strange New World scene where they went to Vulcan because
Some Vulcan flavors.
So Vulcan was like more fiery and stuff, but in both scenes they were standing in some ceremonial. There was ceremonial garb in the Vulcan, and they were standing on top of. They were standing on top of some like large
Pillar-y thing.
Right.
Pillar.
It's like both planets have like these ceremonial parts and then like nothing else on it.
Yeah.
It's a planet with nothing on it.
Not a pyre. Pyre is something different. Pillar. Yeah, they were standing on a tall pillar. Substance. In the case of the Keonian moon, it was like just like rock. I can't remember what it was in the Vulcan place, if it was just a structure. But in both cases,
it was mostly rock with a structure on top.
In both cases, they were like looked to be like hundreds of feet off the ground in this sort of fairly skinny kind of deal. I'm wondering if they had the whole idea of the ceiling, how they said it was like it's a small ceremony before the big one. Do you think that was like a practical production decision, so they didn't have to have as many
100%.
people?
And people have complained a little bit about it online, being like, okay, I guess again we don't get to see the fish people because it's the effects and the makeup and all that are expensive.
Yeah, and they were like, and the planet's dried up when the molten core stopped spinning. It's like, well, I want to learn more about why the molten core stopped spinning.
And on the home planet, they get all fished out, so we don't get to see that.
And apparently the party has got like a parade and all kinds of crazy, like
there's a lot of drinking.
We didn't get to see all the awesome shit on the home planet. I mean, obviously, also partly because of the plot of the episode, but yes, I think obviously a production thing, and honestly, I can't say this with certainty. I almost get the vibe that it was meant to be like comically obviously like we're just doing this for production reasons. Right. We're just inventing like, oh yeah, in our culture, like yeah, we don't got to do that whole fish bullshit, expensive fish bullshit for like the important shit here.
Well, because I mean, yeah, because Jaden was even just like, I thought you were all fish people or something like that. You know? That's when he talked about the molten core, and they didn't.
He had to wear some kind of ocean dress though.
I don't know why I always think pyre. When I think of pyre, I think of like a pillar of fire. Well, because
that's what it is.
Is that what it is?
Well, a pyre is the thing that you set on fire. Yeah. Generally associated with the burning of a body.
Yeah, okay, but I always think of like a literal pillar made of fire, like a mythical pillar of fire that like a pillar, except it's a fire pillar.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just because it's pyre, which is P for pillar and ire for fire. But for whatever reason, in my head, when I think of pillars, I think of pyres, and I know that's
I don't think
wrong.
that's far off.
And I suspect you're not alone in this.
I mean, it's a pile of fire.
It's a pile of something.
Right into feedback at itsgotstartrek.com if you too confuse the concept of a pyre, a robust bonfire to burn a body, with the mythical concept of a column of fire. All right, that's feedback at itsgotstartrek.com.
I'm trusting your instincts on that one.
Was used in the ancient times, and that's where all that mythical jazz comes from.
Try and understand.
I don't know, Patrick. You were going to say something when I opened up with
all I was going to say
Arizona
is I thought
planets.
It makes sense for us
cameras
briefly to talk about, I guess, like sort of the key things that are going on in this episode. Thing number one, main thing, I guess, is the Cosine stuff, the episode Cosine, sorry, thank you. The episode is called that, so that's a clue.
Joaquin. Sorry, I'm being an asshole.
Dan's referring to the Star Trek Con podcast, where I made a few mistakes here and there with pronunciation. So we've got the story with
that would be my fault.
The wedding business. And then we've got this other business where Caleb is just kind of being a dickhead and doesn't want to like go hang out with people.
Yeah, he's being all grumpy.
But
he doesn't want to go to Senegal.
But Genesis Lithe has we learned that she has imposter syndrome, which is a relatable issue for somebody to have.
I was curious because this whole thing was as Caleb put it, it was a hustle.
I know a hustle when I see it.
He's not stupid.
But she was saying at the beginning, the way she was convincing him to take her to the bridge was by saying like, oh, he's like, you've been on the bridge before. It's like, yeah, but it's my dad's bridge, and my whole life, people, I'm always wondering if people think that I just here because of my dad. Like she feels like she doesn't deserve it, and that's why she wants to go on the bridge because she tells him some story about how she wants to feel like she earned it, and all her life she feels like it hasn't been hers. It's always been as a result of her dad. Now that was a trick to get him to get her onto the bridge, but it feels like she was using some honesty to help her.
Those
feels
are
like
the best manipulations.
Yeah, right.
Are rooted in the truth.
She's a snake.
Because maybe what we learned in this episode is Genesis lithe is not lithe so much in the physical sense, though perhaps she is, but rather that she is lithe in the metaphorical sense, in that she can snake around and manipulate people with her little schemey schemes and her what not em ups.
That's what I was hoping for.
Indeed, that is. This is just to explain for people who don't understand.
If you didn't play that, I was going to say
an extremely obscure 1980s reference, or early 90s, I suppose.
It's like the same thing in my mind.
That is a commercial for the Sega Genesis video game system, a 16-bit video game system that competed with the Super Nintendo. But the clip that Dan plays does not include the reference to Genesis, so that's why I'm explaining that here, because that's
Genesis does 16-bit arcade graphics.
Genesis,
16-bit arcade graphics.
As the old saying goes, as my grandma used to tell me, Genesis does what Nintendo don't.
Nintendo does on Nintendo.
All right, back to your regularly scheduled incoherent discussion about the current episode of Star Trek.
Maybe.
So those two storylines are going on. Let's talk about the cosine part. Is it okay?
Well, yeah, that's fine. We did.
Or did you want to reference something else?
Well, earlier you did ask me if I had a list, and I said yes, but I never said what those lists were.
Well, why don't you inform us now? Now is as good a time as any.
Well, there was a 2-point list of Darum and Genesis had 2 moments. My 2-point list with 2 in the title. They had 2 moments together.
I will reluctantly accept that in a technical sense, I think you can indeed have a list that is 2 items.
I feel like
I agree.
Sometimes
I agree.
Short list.
Sometimes I feel like Patrick is
very smart, very clever, makes excellent points from time to time.
Contradictory. Because like I'll play a series of sounds and you'll be like, that was a list. Sure. And I'm like, that's not a list, it's just a series of sounds. And then I'll say
is it more than 2?
Just because there's a sequence of things doesn't make it a list.
Okay.
Right.
Anyway, we don't need to argue
The philosophy of lists.
Okay,
Gotcha.
but anyway, I just feel like in the past I've said 2 points and you've insisted that it was a list. So I just can't keep up with your inconsistency.
Honestly, it's, you know what? I stipulate that it's 100% possible. I have no recollection of that, but I could see myself defending such a position. Yeah.
So anyways, it's a 2-point something or other. But the bigger list I have is it's 7 points, and it's called Denying Darum.
Oh, Denying Darum. All right.
And then there's a 3-point list of Delaying Caleb.
Okay. Do you have a preference at which you'd like to start first?
Well, I mean,
how about the big one?
What were we about to talk about?
Well, I was going to suggest we talk about the Darum business.
Okay, well, denying Darum.
Denying Darum. All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Do it up.
So this whole episode is Darum like denying his truth, as it starts at the very beginning when Jaden talks to Darum and says he's going to Ibiza, going to Ibiza, back to the island. Or wait, it goes do. It goes do back to the island. Something. No, do back to the island. That's what it is. Do back to the island. That's what it is. And
going to eat pizza.
Going to eat pizza. And so and then Darum is basically, he doesn't say it in so many words, but he basically is implying that Jaden is doing something he doesn't want to do. Jaden should be true to himself and not like just... Is that what people got the vibes of? Was that Darum was telling Jaden... When Jaden was telling Darum that he was going to Ibiza with Kyle, Jaden was basically expressing he didn't want to go to Ibiza. That wasn't his thing. And Darum kept being like, you know... and then Jaden kept being like, he's gone through a trauma. I need to be there for him. And he's like, It seemed like Darum was trying to tell Jaden that he should be himself.
Yeah, but I also think that there's a layer of manipulation there because we get hints that Darum is, at least in one degree or another, interested in Jaden. There's a little bit of magic there.
So he's not that cool with that.
So I think that he has a bias towards being aggravated by Kyle and wanting to fuck up his shit.
But it doesn't change the fact that he says, so he goes, Kyle wants to show me an island called Ibiza. Klingons on Ibiza. That's not a sentence anyone ever imagined could exist. It was not my first choice, says Jaden. And then Darum says, it's your break too, you know. And he goes, it is. But Kyle suffered a loss with Bobby. And he goes, yeah, Bobby, he was a hero. And it's my honor. And he says, but you, like, Darum does have a thing for Jaden, it does seem like. But at the same time, if you just take words at face value, he's telling Jaden, do what you want to do. Don't sacrifice what you want for other people. Yeah. And that's the first sort of denying Darum because like that is him also.
I didn't catch that. I think that's an excellent thing to point out.
That's the foundation of his whole problem this episode is him trying to please other people, basically.
Audience, we've earned our wage this week because we have made, I think that's probably an underobserved point, if I had to guess.
I should hope so.
I'm basing that opinion on the fact that I didn't observe it, and since I'm so clever, if I didn't catch it, I have no choice but to presume the vast majority of you fools out there
in this instance
didn't catch it.
In this instance, I'll allow it, Patrick. I'll allow it. Yes. Okay. So the second part was Kyra and Jaden were talking, and Darum, she goes, I'm Kyra. It means a lot that you'd come so far to be Darum's cosign. Jaden says, oh, well, I could not decline even if I wanted. And then Darum's like, haha, good one. He cuts him off. So he's already kind of afraid to like reveal any kind of like shadiness going on that like he didn't want to be there. It was all an accident. So he's trying to hide from her there. Number 3, Darum says, are you ready? He's to Kyra. He's talking to Kyra. When basically they were talking about the thing. He goes, "Are you ready?" He kind of says it with uncertainty, like to her about getting married. He's like, "Are you ready?" He's kind of like, "Yeah." He's like, kind of like in that way where you hope she's like, "I don't know," but she says, "I've always been ready." But leading Coyote is a 2-person job, and she's like, "Are you ready?" And then she says some more stuff, and then she goes, "So if you need some time to sort out your thoughts, and you should take it, sort." And then he's like, "There's nothing to sort. Nothing's changed since I left for Starfleet."
Sorted.
Which, by the way, I thought this was a really nicely done part of the plot because so often you wouldn't have this part where the very reasonable partner says, hey, if you're not into this, no worries, here's an out. Right. And then what you're doing is you're showing how deep he is in this denial, as Dan's pointing out, that he's like, no, I'm just like, I'm totally down. Like, you totally giving me an out now, and I'm not going to take it.
And it makes her even cooler and him even more of like an asshole for it.
Yes.
And it's even worse because it made her all super happy when he said that. So he's just, at this point, he's just making it, this is when he's really making it worse by not being truthful. Because this means she'll be all that much more pissed later. And then they hug, and then there's that shot of his face, that hug shot when you hug and you show the person's face from the other side of the hug, and you see him all like, and then also number 4
plays that TAS thing where it's like, all right, Dan, you got to be quicker on that. There we go. Excellent. Good. I know.
One of these days, I'm going to make a new piece of software. I say a lot of things that I'm going to do, and I never do it, so I should just stop saying
That's life, man.
I dream of you having like a 100-inch touchscreen, like
100-inch
mega monitor where you're just clicking around.
Having drum set all around me, except it's like a curved screen.
Yeah.
Could you even touch a curved screen? It'd have to be very wide.
Again, the audience at home is
people
missing
at home.
Dan acting out the concept of
You see this guy's wingspan
of an overlarge curved touchscreen.
Oh man!
All right, what's the next thing on the list?
Number 4, Jaden wants to leave to go back to Ibiza with Kyle. Durham says, "I really need you here tonight. The ceiling, not the ceiling up there, but the ceiling, as in a seal." Not a seal.
No eating fish.
This ceiling needs to go off.
I gotta say,
no pooping in the water.
That was one of the times I'm glad we don't do video podcasts.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird.
It was cool before, and then it got strange.
Dan's impersonation of a seal is probably not for public consumption.
Yeah, problematic.
Right. Okay, ceiling.
This ceiling needs to go off flawlessly for Kyra, for Keonia. For me, a cosine can't abandon a newly sealed Javera and Ucha or whatever.
I love the classic, like, I roped you into this bullshit.
Yeah, right.
And now you're like obligated.
Yeah, you can't abandon us. It will blow up protocol, and a cosine has to make a toast.
What a dickhead! And by the way, it's important. It's important. I've said this as we've discussed this series from the beginning. They're doing a great job with Durham, making him an interesting, complex character that you sympathize with. But he's still a dickhead. It's very important. And by the end of this episode, they make a point. He is kind of a selfish dickhead. And in fact, part of the problem here, and it might be part of the list, is like at the end, like I think a lot of people are reading what's the girl? Kaya is his Kyra. So Kyra is all like, look, I listened to that awesome speech and I realized that you gotta go. And everyone's like reading that as like, oh, isn't she like mature and nice? She's fucking pissed at Durham. Because at one point she's like, you started this marriage with a lie.
Yeah, right.
Like, I'm gonna be cool about this, but like you suck.
Yeah.
You're kind of like, your whole like thinking that you're doing the right thing was actually in a way,
selfish.
It was selfish. It was
You are essentially an asshole.
Yeah, precisely. It was the sort of the cowardly thing to do.
The Jaden dude thought that like there was like a problem, like, and he didn't hesitate to like jump through the portal and like be like, I'm going after this dude. Like that's like, my friend.
Yeah.
Like,
and he grabbed a big fucking rock.
The other guy,
he's fucking strong. And they even accentuated how heavy that rock was when it dropped. He got
totally Klingon. Like, today's a good day to die and all that shit. And like the other guy could have given him a heads up about, like, in my culture, like when you get married, they come and capture you.
Because he didn't expect it.
I did like that look when he picked up that little gold pebble looking thing, and he was like, that moment of realization. He's like, oh,
like, I know what that is.
Oh, jeepers!
That's a Keonian pebble.
They also like. Darren was even being an asshole before they left when all this began. When he was saying goodbye to his friends, he was like, "Say hi to your sister for me. Say hi to your sister for me. Say hi to your sister for me." It's like, does anybody find that funny? Like, even your friends? It's like, shut up,
man.
This
guy sucks.
Yeah. But Patrick, that was the point there. What you said about he's already roped him into this. So basically the point of that part was that
this is number 5.
This is number 4. That he's bringing Jaden into his bullshit lie, and he's making him feel obligated when Jaden, like you said, Jesse, Jaden just thought he was getting fucked up and was trying to help him.
That, fully expects and is surprised and confused when Jaden is doesn't want to be involved. He's like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah. So then Darren says, people I've known my whole life are going to be there. Nothing I've done will ever matter as much as this. You should understand that more than anyone. So right here, his ultimate goal in life is to do something that will please someone else. Yeah. And not only that, but he's being exploitative of Jaden by saying you should understand that more than anyone else, which is like kind of not cool.
It's not cool, but it's also relatable, by the way. This is, again, all these characters, their issues, even when they're like super geniuses or fish people or have crazy awesome penises or whatever, like they all have relatable problems, including when you're royalty and you have to like marry somebody who you like you're cool with, but you're kind of not into it.
Cool with?
You, like want to just like hang out and do some other shit. Like we can all like relate to that.
And so Jaden says, "You're doing this for your parents," and Darren says, "No, but if it makes them proud of me for once, who's that hurting?" I mean, by definition, now he is doing it for them.
We already know from prior episodes that his parents seem to be terrible people. Terrible pieces of shit. That aren't going to be impressed and are not worthy of impressing.
Terrible fish people.
And then and then on the top it off, he goes, "What I'm not going to do is disappoint Kyra, my parents, my people. I need to be who they raised me to be." Once again, just sort of solidifying this theme of like, I'm doing this for other people. Yet it's only Darren could like do something for other people, yet still be like,
it's me
being an asshole about it, right?
Yeah, I know.
Somehow he's selfless in this really asshole way,
which I find interesting. I think interesting. It's a very interesting way to construct a character.
Yeah. Number 5, we're getting close. Jaden says, this thing I'm wearing is wet and cold, and Klingons don't like being cold, basically. And Darren goes, "This isn't about you. This is about respect and tradition."
It's like made out of some kind of ocean worm or
some kind of sea tendril thing.
I forget what
it was. I can find it real quick.
It's like freshly made.
Constructed with sea tendrils of Relios. Whatever that means.
It's like freshly wet from the ocean.
Yeah, so he goes, Darren says, "This isn't about you. This is about respect and tradition." So it's a fucked up thing to say to somebody who didn't want to be there in the first place and only went because they thought Darren was in trouble.
And also does not know the traditions because he doesn't know about these.
Right, he's just getting, he's like learning this on the fly, and he's like, "It's not about you." And he's like, "This is about, it is about Jaden when he didn't sign up for it. So it is absolutely about Jaden."
Oh, similar to how Genesis Live roped Caleb into her, manipulated Caleb into helping her do some subterfuge.
But when Darren says this is not about you, this is about respect and tradition, he is talking to Jaden, but he's also kind of talking to himself when he says that, because he's trying to convince himself that this is because he doesn't want to do this shit.
Classic.
So Jaden says, if this is your true path, then timing does not matter. Well, it's obviously not his true path. Jaden is like, even when Jaden doesn't know what's fully going on, he knows what's going on in this whole thing. Man. Like he knows the truth this whole time, even when he doesn't have any of the details. He's got like the right sort of.
He's a wise fellow.
So number 6, Darren says in reference to the Academy, "I don't want to leave," to which Jaden says, "Then don't." And Darren says, "I made a promise." And then that's when Samwise said,
"I made a promise, Mr. Frodo."
And then Jaden says, "Which will make you a better man?" All nice like. He's all nice. He says, "Which will make you a better man? Hey man, what'll make you better, man? Come on, what'll make you better?" Then Darren gets all pissy and he says, "It's not about me, it's about my people." And Jaden says, "That's not what I asked, dude. It's not what I asked. It's cool." And Darren says, "No, man, you don't get it. I'm not going to bail on my people like you did on your family," which is like, which is totally not cool. That was not cool.
That was really fucked up.
Yeah,
He likes to...
and Darren basically said, "You cut and run," basically.
Yeah, he did the same thing to Genesis Live.
Live?
In beta test, when they... Or was it beta test or whatever, the one where they're playing Calica and they're trying out, and he like he talked about her daddy.
That's right.
Oh,
and
right.
She all freaked out, and then he was like, "Ha ha."
Yeah, he's going after people's families and shit. It must be because he hates his own family.
Yeah, that's all he knows.
So, but anyways, this is another instance, though. He's talking to Jaden and is like, "You cut and run from your family, you bailed on your family." But of course, once again, he's sort of feeling guilty about wanting to do the same thing.
It's not even true. Like, didn't they cut and run on him?
Well, I mean, Caleb sort of like did something similar to him at the speech episode. Caleb said something about like, "You ran out on your people" or some shit like that, which is like, it's total like Jaden keeps getting shit for something that's Jaden's just trying to like be a good guy in himself, and people don't accept him as
Klingon hatred,
and people don't accept him for who he is, and then they blame him for like running, and it's like, that's not how it's. This is not just no. But
not even.
Not even. But like, anyway, so him telling Jaden, you bailed on your family, it's Darren feeling guilty about wanting to do the same, but he lacks tact and said a shitty thing to his friend instead. And then finally at the pre-wedding ceremony thing, even Darren's smile while he's watching Quill, who was like her version of Kyra's version of a cosine.
A cuckold?
Not a cuckold.
Oh, a cosine.
Cosine, yes.
Sorry.
No, not a cuckold.
I mispronounced it.
Yeah, you mispronounced it.
Girl looked like trouble.
I could tell. Yeah. I could tell you mispronounced it.
No, just I don't know. Is there something in the way you
cuckold
said it?
No, her version of the cosine, Quill. So Quill was giving the speech about and we love you all and all that stuff. And you see Darren sort of like with this sort of forced fake smile, like great. Yeah. This is so great. This
is fantastic.
And then he's like, and then you overhear him talking to some people. He's like,
wonderful advice.
Yeah. I was like, oh yes. He's all like, yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Which, by the way, again,
I'm playing the part.
Look. This is very subtle. This is very subtle.
Bodies.
But I am one of those who argues that this show is, again, by and large, extremely well written. And this is an example when he says, excellent advice or whatever. That's his small talk.
Wonderful advice.
Wonderful advice.
They could have picked any line. They could have had him say anything. But by saying that little chortle wonderful advice, those few words convey so much to us. And Dan has brought that up right now. That brief moment, there's so much characterization about what he's dealing with, what his feeling is. He's having to like charm these people and act all fake and be like, and he's got to listen to people give him fucking advice to live his life because he's not in control of his life because all these other people are the ones who are in control of his life. And he's just got to eat shit and be like, sure, great. That's good advice. Thank you for that marriage or life advice.
Yeah. And
we can guess what it was. The guy was probably like, make sure you put the toilet seat down. I don't know. Whatever.
Always do this when you do that.
When you get married and people decide like, I'm going to give you this magic advice. Like I'm divorced 3 times, but I'm still going to give you advice on how to have a good marriage.
At the wedding, do the fish people eat like smaller fish?
No, I think
are they the kind of fish that eat smaller fish?
They eat horse sushi. They eat mammals.
They eat land
mammals.
Land sushi.
And they eat it raw.
And regular.
They raw dog horse sushi?
I heard. I suppose that's one way to. But I heard horse sushi
or perhaps cattle.
You can get it in Japan.
Wouldn't it be tartare?
Horse tartare.
I've never had horse tartare. I've had beef tartare.
Well, I'm just saying. Carpaccio. I don't think. Doesn't sushi only apply to like sea creatures?
No, because if it's done in the sushi style in Japan, so Japan has mammalian sushi, horse sushi being.
Can you get burned?
Being one of them. I enjoyed that, man.
That was funky.
I enjoyed that.
That was good too.
Yeah.
Is that the end of that?
Not play baby games with a space slug. 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 Not play baby games with a space slug.
You're the one who started the baby games. You're the one who started the baby games. You're the one who started the baby games. You're the one who started the baby games.
Not play baby games with a space slug. Not play baby games with a space slug. Not play baby games with a space slug. Not play baby games with a space slug.
Look, I'm thoroughly enjoying this hijacking of the podcast.
Was there one more point?
2 in a row.
Just to confirm, have you concluded that particular list, or were there
I've concluded that
list is all right. So
you're the one who started the baby games. You're the one who started the baby games. You're the one who started the baby games. You're the one who started the baby games.
We'll talk about their business. There's not too much to talk about. We'll talk about that later on.
She was like, it's a slug. It's not like it has warp capability. It's like, it's a space slug. It's a warp slug. It's a warp slug.
And she could have read the label.
I know.
She was all like blah blah blah.
It's like what
also known as blah blah blah.
Like what are the odds that she'd be like, it's not like it can warp. It's like, well, it can because it's a warp slug.
Also known as a warp slug.
It's like what are the chances?
I don't know. I just fucking love that. It's so stupid, but I love it.
And the fact that they're playing toxic or non-toxic by sticking their hand into it. And of course it's like, oh, it's toxic. My hand's on fire and my ears are swelling up. What a dumb game.
You got Dumbo ears. Yeah, you say a dumb game, but in my notes here I said Dan would be super into toxic or non-toxic.
I mean, if it meant eating something, maybe. But
Dan is famous for he enjoys eating strange things.
Yeah.
The problem is that he's the reigning champion and no one will dare challenge him. So there's no competition.
I don't know if
You're
anyone...
not going to eat things for no reason. You gotta be in the challenge, in the competition zone.
I think that I could hold my own pretty well in a spice eating competition. That said, there are some crazy motherfuckers out there who can eat some insane shit.
We should do a Patreon where we tell the story about that chili business. In North Carolina, because that's a good Dan tale.
The chili pie,
the chili in a bread bowl. Anyway, check out our Patreon. Maybe that'll show up one of these days. Patreon.com/It's Got Star Trek. Okay, we have to take a break. Okay. And when we come back, is that okay, Dan? Because we're going to continue talking about this show when we get back.
I was just saying that Kyra is talks really fancy English.
All right. So did you want?
She's royalty.
Are you going to play like a bunch of clips of her playing fancy English?
I just want this one clip. I felt like there was some fancy words in here or fancy pronunciations, but maybe it's just because I'm American and I think all British is fancy.
Okay.
I don't think that's true though.
You've seen a different path.
Well,
You had every chance in the world to tell me that, but instead you started our life together with a lie.
Every chance and a path.
She's the queen.
with a lie.
You were the path, the chance.
That's how queens talk.
You've seen a different path. And you had every chance in the world to tell me that, but instead you started our life together with a lie.
That was like the fanciest way you could have said that. Yeah. I think.
All right.
La-di-da.
La-di-fucking-da.
We're going to keep getting fancy here when in just a couple minutes here.
I always keep getting fancy.
First, we gotta take a brief break. So we will be right back.
I'll see you later.
Okay, go. Bye. Have fun. Don't break anything.
And away we go.
Are you ready?
It is a good day to die.
That threw me off.
I think that's what he was going.
It was in part a fraction of the intent was indeed to throw you off and just kind of like you're always on the top of your game when you're a little off kilter, but also just trying a little something different.
I'm trusting your instincts on that one.
Yeah, I don't know that I'll do that again. Okay.
Maybe on the 400th episode.
All right.
Why?
All right. So we didn't forget about
Your performance here has been outstanding.
Thank you. We didn't.
How do you know I wasn't talking to Jesse?
We didn't. Well, okay, you're correct. I'm saying it's a group thinking. We haven't forgotten about Grayson's voicemail.
No.
Just we thought it would come up in the second break. As it happens, it's going to be in the third break because that's where
that's the break we're at.
Whence the conversation has gone.
Just kidding.
But first, of course, we do need to go through all the formalities related to our newish game. This is the 12th time we've played it.
Whoa, that's huge.
Called Where the Hell Have I Heard That Before?
Yay!
AKA WTHHIHTB.
I know a hustle when I see it.
This is a game. This is an audio game, an audio audience interaction game.
That is nasty.
Where
audience interaction.
We play a clip from somewhere in the Star Trek universe, an audio clip, and you, the audience, will then contact us and supply your guesses as to what that clip is. Which character?
The hell have you heard that?
Which series or movie or what iteration of Star Trek? Give us as much information as you can when you send.
I get that.
And you can send those guesses to feedback@discussstartrek.com. That's a good one. Or on social media, DM us. That stands for direct message. I confidently understand from the youth that means direct message.
This human is full of words.
Dan makes a good point. I think it's pretty self-explanatory with this. It's got Star Trek on the social media if you want to DM us. Our DMs are open, as they say.
That's where I should have played that sound. Is after you said DMs are open. I played it too soon. Before.
It was still good.
Cut that in post.
I'll flip it and reverse it.
Yeah, do it
for real, dude.
So I will play the clip from last week, and then we'll go over. We got a number of guesses, so we'll go over the guesses.
Sounds wonderful for the children.
Oh, yes.
All right. Yikes. So don't get confused. That's Dan. I know the audience at home can't see when it's Dan playing a clip or when it's Patrick playing a clip.
Sorry about that.
I'm Patrick.
It's usually Dan.
On your end, it's indistinguishable except by one characteristic that is probably difficult to ascertain by the majority of our listeners. Do either of you have a recollection of what that one key difference is? Maybe? Jesse, do you recall?
Oh, I know. It's because mine's in mono and Patrick's in stereo.
Right. He's got the
Mine's in stereo.
Dan has a
mono. Patrick's in stereo.
Dan has a practice which I support.
My name is Dan.
I support. I agree with his
Dan Mono.
I agree with his justifications.
My name is Patrick Stereo. There was that one time you had mono.
Dan,
Yeah, I was from Kissing You.
Oh shit.
save it for the Patreon. Dan likes to capture his clips in mono for a variety of reasons.
Center channel specifically.
Which he has justified in past podcasts.
Center channel on a surround channel setup.
I don't know which episode, but to learn more, just listen to all previous episodes.
Because the center channel is the most dialogue-heavy channel.
He talks about it. He provides some justification at some point in one of those previous episodes. While my clips tend to be, basically always are, captured in stereo.
I don't get it.
No particular reason. I enjoy stereo. I enjoy the comforting sort of.
You're a greedy son of a bitch.
The aural warmth. The aural warmth that.
But
a slight displacement between different parts of the sound clip where they appear in the ear.
I tried it in stereo once with the Con podcast, and it was confusing because one of the isolations I pulled out was supposed to be someone coming off from stage right or whatever. And so whenever you played the sound, it just came out of the right headphone, which is confusing when you're playing it out of context.
Context.
As I stated,
I'm not jokingly.
As I stated earlier, I agree with and accept your justifications for why you do it in mono. And the example you provided is an extreme example, which is absolutely, it makes sense to bring that to mono because 100% that's going to be confusing because that was an audio podcast and it was doing all sorts of tricks, weird little tricks. Whereas the television program, usually they're not doing too many
crazy idea.
Too many of those like, ooh, I'm on the left side.
And you know what?
Now I'm on the right side.
And I bet you side by side, honestly, I bet no one could tell the difference.
Wow. That's quite probable.
Maybe
we are compressing these down to an MP3.
It's possible maybe if there was a lot of music and sound, but just speaking, I don't know.
Wow.
Unless it came from a specific channel.
All of that
hologram.
All of that aside, I'm going to go ahead.
Holograms.
Dan plays a bunch of clips, but that's not the clip.
Holograms.
That's not the clip from last week.
Okay, I'll stop playing clips. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I'm fucking it up.
That's what caused that whole diatribe in the first place. So
Sorry about that.
Now. You're not helping, Dan. Now I'm going to play last week's clip. All right? I'm going to play the clip, and then we'll talk about the guesses. All right? Here we go.
You and the guesses.
I Love Lucy is on tonight.
Boom. There we go.
That's right. I know what that's from.
It was a short one. Dan, where was it? Where do you think it was from?
It was from, and can I answer?
You should.
Yes,
Can I finish?
Exactly.
Can I finish?
Can I answer? Can I finish?
The name of the episode is escaping me, but it's Enterprise.
Enterprise, that's correct.
And it's like Dawson's Creek or whatever, where the Vulcans come down and meet up with Pacey and
you know which
Joey.
Season?
Pacey and Joey.
Cold Creek?
Codger Creek?
Codger Creek.
Tadger Creek?
Dawson's Creek, Codger Creek, Tadger Creek, Jesse's guest.
Cuckold Creek?
Something with a C.
Criminy Creek?
Queen.
Criminy Creek.
Criminy Creek.
Hot Wife Creek. Creek, you're positive about the Creek business.
It might not be Creek.
Right. How about this? Let's go through some of the.
But
guesses.
it's a Vulcan who says it. It's
Cold water.
It's the Vulcan who falls in love with humanity, and then there's the other the one played by Jolene Blaylock who's like, get your shit together, and he's like, but I love humans.
It's T'Pol's ancestor or something.
Yeah. Yes, you're zeroing in on it. Thankfully, our
Coldwater Creek.
Jesse just said Coldwater Creek.
Oh, Crippity Creek.
How about
Crape Creek. Crabble Tree Creek.
Let me proceed with this.
Cribdibble.
Point of order. So
Christmas.
Anybody second my motion that I just continue as.
Sorry about that.
Just going through the format as. as planned. Oh,
I'm sorry.
No worries. Okay. We'll start. We'll start with an email from Grayson. His email guess is it Ensign Harry Kim trying to convince one or both of the Delaney sisters to go watch some of Tom's ancient Earth entertainments in the mess hall? Or is it Anson Mount as the Roddenberry character in the Strange New Worlds episode A Space Adventure Hour? I played that clip earlier. Thanks, Agamus. Grayson. So
Thanks, Agamus.
he, as Grayson has demonstrated, you can send in a goofy guess, a gag guess.
Grayson
That's
likes
fine,
it.
too.
Grayson's
Goofy
good with the gag. Grayson's good with the gag guess. Gag guess. Yes. Grayson, wait. Shh.
I was like, this week we're gonna stick to the normal, regular 90 minutes. We've been lax, but this week we're gonna do it, and I'm starting to feel like no, I kind of don't think we're gonna do that.
We will.
All
I just
right,
gotta say this.
Dan has no choice but to get this. He's just invented a fucking tongue twister. And now he's obsessed with the idea of completing the tongue twister. Please continue.
Grayson's good with the gag guesses.
Okay.
Grayson's good with the gag guesses. Grayson's good at gag guesses. Grayson's good got gag guesses. Grayson's good got gag guesses.
You know what?
Grayson's good got gag guesses.
We could start a thing where if people,
I like a thing.
write into us, you can, instead of necessarily doing a haiku, you can do a tongue twister.
I can do a tongue twister. That's arguably more challenging.
Change it up.
Yeah. Give us a review. I will present you with a tongue twister.
Yeah.
Tongue twist you.
I'll tongue twist. There you go.
Haiku
or
a tongue twister.
Haiku or an FU.
All right, so that was Grayson's guess. Now we have a guess from Emmanuel Croft from Facebook.
Emmanuel Kant was a real pissant who was very rarely stable.
I digger was a boozy beggar who would drink you under the table. Aristotle was a dusser for the bottle was twice as sauce as Schlegel. And René Descartes was a drunken fart I drink, therefore I am. There's nothing. Nothing nature couldn't teach us about the
nature
raising.
couldn't teach about the raising of the wrist. Socrates himself was particularly pissed.
Is that Monty Python?
John Stuart Bill, particularly ill. Later they say, have a pint of whiskey every day. That's when Aristotle.
Yeah, Aristotle was a dusser.
Something was fun of his dram and rainy day to car. Okay.
Now, hey, do you want to sing "Never Be Rude to an Arab" next?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Okay, all right. I don't know. I thought that Dan and I probably both had the Monty Python Sings CD.
There was like the
back
bit
in the day?
where it was like a soccer
Where
game
would I stay?
between it was a soccer game between the German philosophers and the ancient Greek philosophers, and like
was this a Python skit?
Yeah, and like the Greeks like kicking into their own goal or something.
There was also the one about the funniest joke in the world, and like wasn't it like the English soldiers were telling a joke to the German soldiers, and it like killed them all because it was so funny. but they died of laughter.
They could only transcribe the joke like one word at a time. Like one person saw 2 words and was in the hospital for 6 months.
Right, yeah. Okay, we are now totally off track now, but you're right. Yeah, that's funny.
But I think it's useful for people out there who are listening to the podcast to know that 3 middle-aged white upper middle class men are fans of Monty Python. I think it's helpful. It's useful for people to know that.
Who'd have thought?
All right. So Emmanuel Croft says, ahoy there, fair ginkum, winkum, and dinkum.
Whoa.
Last week's sound was Mestral. From the episode of Enterprise called last call to guess. You did Cuckold Creek.
Clamato Creek.
That's gross. Clamato's gross. Jesse, any last chance? Last chance, any?
I don't.
Cumface Creek.
Okay, no, it is not Cumface Creek. It was indeed Carbon Creek.
Oh shit!
So yes, you're right, Dan.
Carbon Creek. Where is it in like Colorado or something?
I don't know, it's in Pennsylvania.
Oh, it's in Pennsylvania.
I think she went to.
They also got carbon.
Went to Pittsburgh and sold Velcro.
They got carbon. Right.
Velcro, yeah. Carbon Creek, Mestral from Carbon Creek. It wasn't the fellow who played Mestral. Didn't he also play a Nazi a couple times? I don't know. I think so. Good actor. That was a great episode, Carbon Creek. We covered that in an episode of
we did that one.
It's got Star Trek
way back
eons ago. So just to go to our website and search for Carbon Creek, because I forgot to look up.
Did he play the guy who said this?
Betty Grable.
I believe so. Yes, he's the Betty Grable Nazi fella.
Betty Grable.
And then I think he plays a Nazi in the Enterprise his 2-part Stormfront, which we also covered
Yeah.
earlier this in 2025, I think towards the beginning of 2025. For no particular reason, we got on a whole Star Trek Nazi kick.
Veronica Lake.
That's right, we did.
For a while.
Veronica Lake.
So, all right. So let me continue. I remember, this is I'm
Rita Hayworth.
reading Mr. Croft's email, continuing his email. I remember being offended that Rick Berman thought us Trekkies were so base and disreputable that we would tune into a Star Trek show just because it had a sexy woman on it, as if Trekkies were so lowbrow and sleazy. That being said, this is the only episode I remember of Enterprise, not because it's a fantastic episode with great world building and costume and design, it is, but I remember this ep because you can clearly see the silhouette of Jolene Blaylock's nipples
wow.
against the sheet on the line. Berman, that son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's right.
He really got my number. And at this point, I
forgot about that.
I have to mention he included a screenshot. I think we talked about this when we discussed it. I think we were at least tiptoed around this. He sent a screenshot. Actually, hold on. Let me send you the screenshot. I should have done this earlier, Gordon. This is very unprofessional podcasting.
We're keeping it loose, man.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and forward this.
Forward it, fools.
To
Try and understand.
Dan and Jesse. So this is the screen cap from Emmanuel Croft here. And lo and behold, if for educational purposes only, you zoom in.
Oh my God, you really can.
Yes, it's absurd.
That is unnecessary.
Totally unnecessary. And thank you, Emmanuel, for sending that evidence. It's always helpful to support your argument with hard evidence.
Hard evidence.
No pun intended. But and by the way, Dan, you have just made Mr. Croft's day because his letter continues because he provided the image. His letter continues. Finally, Dan, please play the evidence sound clip. So please, Dan, evidence.
Okay. Let's do it!
Okay,
Evidence!
There you go. Thank you for that, Dan.
Now, do you think those are really nipples, or do you think they added them in to be salacious? Has been a word we've used several
What
times.
is she holding? It's like a pig.
It looks like a
like a pig.
It looks like a Confederate soldier hat.
I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Emmanuel also says the sound before for last week. Remember we played the TOS sound where it was like so lonely.
Yeah,
please, so lonely. He said that was a voicemail he sent to a girl on Valentine's Day.
Oh man,
that'll get her.
and Mr. Croft concludes his email by saying, "P.S. Thanks for telling me about Isaac's TMNT Minute podcast. It's great to know I'm not the only Jam Eater listener." Then he has hash marks cool but rude. Yes, Isaac.
I'm not liking the trend here.
Wait, is that guy a jam eater?
I don't know. Maybe Mr. Croft is.
He's claiming he's a self-proclaimed jam eater,
which means you come from Tasmania, apparently.
Down in Tasmania.
In Tasmania.
Go check out Isaac's Trek 365 podcast, which in addition to all the Trek stuff, he's also covering the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie 1 minute at a time.
With the latest video games. It's Christmas. It's Christmas in heaven. Every single day. It's Christmas Day.
I'm more about the Galaxy song, but my wife gets
My
wife, she gets mad if I sing any. She's not into black holes or songs about the scale of things.
Oh, right.
Does she have thanatophobia or whatever? Thanatophobia? What is that thing where you're scared of big things in the ocean?
Oh no, that's thalassophobia.
Thalassophobia.
I thought you had that.
But that's got to be the ocean. I don't know. I don't think she's worried about the ocean. It's just more about just cosmic experience.
But she's not scared of giant boat propellers in the water coming straight toward you.
That is creepy.
I haven't checked.
I can see that.
Can you imagine the biggest boat in the world? How big its turbine propeller is?
You have made me think about that kind of stuff.
And could you imagine?
And it freaks me out.
Could you imagine being underwater and it's flapping around, sucking you in?
It'll suck you right in, man.
it's so big that it sucks you through. You don't actually get chopped up, but you get sucked through it.
Oh man!
That's
and then you go into a different world.
Dan, I think everything you describe is perfectly valid to be worried about, which is why I make sure to assiduously avoid any scenarios which would place me anywhere near
a giant propeller.
Giant propellers.
But what about a big whale?
In a boat.
Whales are freaky too.
Or a kraken.
Okay, so we do have, we also, we had a guess from Isaac. He also guessed correctly Carbon Creek. He said, my entrance for what the hell, I've heard that before, is Carbon Creek. But, he continues, and this is really odd, when I was listening to your episode, headphones, couch, my son was watching Carbon Creek.
Whoa.
The chances of this all lining up is more amazing than me actually recognizing a sound clip.
Absolutely perfect.
Maybe this is why maths teachers ask you to show your workings. The story can sometimes be more interesting than the answer. Right. Thank you, Isaac. Okay.
Perfect.
So, perfect. Now it's time to play next week's clip.
Can't wait.
All right. So we're going to play this clip twice. All right. Listen the first time and play it again. You listen again. Then you send us your guess and send it by Friday. That's the deal.
Okay, fine.
All right. Here we go.
Strictly pleasure. Actually, I've built up about 3 months of leave, and Dr. Crusher finally insisted that I take some of it. She nearly shoved me out of the airlock.
Oh!
I wonder who that is. I wonder who that is.
I've never heard that guy before. Who is that?
I'll just figure it out. I will.
All right. One more time, folks. Here it comes.
Strictly pleasure. Actually, I've built up about 3 months of leave, and Dr. Crusher finally insisted that I take some of it. She nearly shoved me out of the airlock.
There we go.
Right. Is that even a thing?
Send your guesses to feedback.
It's not that easy.
feedback@itsgotstartrek.com.
I know a hustle when I see it.
Or at It's Got Star Trek, DMS. All right. So now we continue our conversation about this business with the
what were we talking
cosine.
Did you notice that at the wedding, apparently Earth classical music is the height of fancy?
Yeah, they were playing all kinds of Earth
music. They were playing something from Chopin's 24 Preludes. They were playing
some kind of Haydn or Mozart.
It was
What's he hiding?
It was Opus 28 number 1 in C major. All right. What agitato? I don't know who actually. I didn't get who actually does that. Is that Haydn?
Haydn.
Yeah. It was I think that's is that Chopin as well?
Chopin.
There was at least one Chopin that I recognized.
This is great.
It says I think they were both Chopin.
Okay.
But the first one was Opus 28 number.
I'm a little rusty on my.
Wait, it was Opus 28 number 1 in C major. Oh, I'm sorry. No. Then the next one was String Quartet number 3 in C major.
This is excellent.
Okay, but I don't know of too many Chopin string.
No,
quartets,
you're right. No,
so.
that you're no. I got them mixed up. You're right. That first one was Chopin, and the second one was who wrote it?
This is like some sort of performance art that I'm witnessing here between Dan and Jesse as well.
It's Haydn. You're right, Jesse.
Was it Haydn?
Yeah, it was something. The second one was Haydn.
It sounded vaguely Haydn-y. I just couldn't. It's just one of those things where
well, your senses were right.
All the guys in the same time period, like their stuff sounds the same. So I'm like, is that this guy? Is it Beethoven? Is it Mozart? Is it Haydn? Is it Beethoven? Is it Mozart?
And apparently the first one was performed by, according to the sound thing, said Songjin Cho. I don't know why it listed one. I don't know, Songjin Cho. That sounds like one person, even though it was an ensemble. But the second one was performed by the Tokyo String Quartet.
Oh, I've heard of those guys.
Yeah, so I don't. What is this? Songjin Cho is a
pianist.
Piano player, he's a Korean. He's a Korean pianist.
Because that's one of the. It's like one of the preludes. I think.
Right. So one was from a Korean performer, and one was from Japanese performance.
Did you say it was one of the preludes? You just said the opus number.
I said it was from Chopin's 24 Preludes.
You did say that. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So there, and then they were playing that all the way on the moon of Cosine.
I know,
and that because it's
weird
fancy.
What about their own music?
Yeah, I was saying that's why Earth classical is officially the fanciest music in the universe.
I think this is a great opportunity.
Even like thousands of years into the future.
Yeah,
great opportunity to note that if you would like to donate any money, you will get a tote bag with little musical notes, a little clip.
Is this some kind of NPR?
It's like NPR, baby.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying this.
Oh, he's making fun of us by being very deadpan presentation.
I'm fascinated and enjoying what I can only call this performance art of.
Are you thinking of that Saturday?
Two gentlemen arguing over.
Remember that?
Arguing, just sort of like.
Yeah.
Remember that Saturday Night Live?
Rooting around on the internet to determine.
Did you ever see that Saturday Night Live skit? It was the Saturday Night Live skit where it was like they were playing two NPR radio hosts, and they were just like, it was like deadpan and quiet the whole time. There was like nothing, and I think Alec Baldwin was on one of them, and it was just
the
like
sweaty balls.
Was it sweaty balls?
It's a famous long-running skit that they did on the.
Try and understand.
The old Saturday Night Live.
Well, we can talk about Delay and Caleb.
Okay. First, we have to play the clip.
Oh, right.
From Grayson. I've been trying to get to this because Grayson has some thoughts. Now, this is a longish clip, but I really
do it.
I enjoyed what he was saying, and I thought it would all of these things, all these points he brings up, I think is worthy of discussion. So, take it away.
Okay, let's do it.
Grayson, here you go.
Really looking forward to your take on cosine or cosine. I thought it was fine, but I've had some time to ponder about it, and Darum's whole thing is really bothering me. And I'll tell you why. It could have been solved in any number of ways, but the two ways I think it could have been solved that are just so obvious, and maybe it's too tropey, but okay, one, just go through with it and stay at Starfleet Academy. There's a huge precedent for royalty in Starfleet. Deanna Troi is basically royalty. I mean, her mom is heir to the holy rings of Beta Z and all. And Billups on Lower Decks, he's literally the crowned prince of Hesperia.
Virgin.
Tendi is mistress of the winter constellations. I mean, imagine the turmoil that Darum calling this off is causing in his own family. Can you imagine? Your son is about to become a prince, and all of the ways that your life is going to change. And then he goes, yeah, no, that's cool. I'm going to go back to school. I mean, it's just, it makes no sense. So do it. Just do it. Just get married and then go back to Starfleet Academy and wear that kick-ass crown and deal with the next steps when you graduate or whatever.
It was a cool crown.
I think one, he could have gone through with it. The other way that they could have fixed this is they could have done that trope where two people in an episode of TV, in this case, Darum and the Kionian princess, they want different things, but they're too afraid to say them for fear of hurting each other. And there's this, why don't they tell each other for the whole episode? And then some big thing happens. Maybe they have a fight. Maybe they have sex. Maybe they almost die in a plane crash or something. And then at that moment, they realize they have to say what they really feel. Life is too short not to be honest with each other. And they both say at the same time, there's something I need to tell you. And then there's the whole part where they go, you go first. No, you go first. And then they say, okay, on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. And then they both say, I can't marry you. And then they explain why. Darum wants to go back to Starfleet. And I think maybe he's also questioning some things about himself as well. And then the princess says, I'm in love with my cosine Quill, or whatever that person's name was. I mean, oh, what a relief. And now it's not all on Darum to look like the asshole who fucked everything up in order to go back to college. There were so many ways that this could have been solved. I really wish that the princess had said, I can't marry you. I'm in love with my cosine. That would have been awesome. Darum off the hook. Doesn't have to look like a jerk.
That's the end of it. Thank you, Grayson.
Thanks, Agamus.
Thanks, Agamus. I think
you guys, everyone's been saying that his crown was cool, but Jaden specifically thought his crown was ridiculous.
Right. But I like Jaden, but I don't agree with everything about it because I also thought that fish costume stuff was pretty rad. Yeah. I can appreciate it's maybe as clammy and gross. Okay,
Klingons don't like to be cold.
It looked cool,
but it didn't. Look cool.
I could take or leave the headdress.
I mean, I see what I see what Grayson's saying. The thing is like Darum has always been played off as the asshole, though, is the thing.
I think that's the key. That would be my response, because I get what he's saying. That, I mean, of course.
He made a good point. He made a good point about how royalty is often in Starfleet. You could always argue, that like, well, on Kionia it's different. They don't.
Those guys, most of those guys have chosen Starfleet over actually royalty
when it came down to it.
Yeah, when it came down to it, they're still sticking with Starfleet.
Yeah, but
Billups is still going Starfleet.
Yeah, but I think the crown is waiting for him whenever he wants to come back.
Billups has maintained his virginity, because for those who are not aware from Lower Decks, the lore is that Billups comes from Fantasyland people who have like warp ships driven by like dragons and shit like that. And
Baron Garen.
And one of the things is he's the crown prince, and he has to maintain his virginity lest he lose the opportunity to take over. And so he's done that. So I think that's a point in Grayson's favor. I would say my response would be I think it's because the story they're telling is that Darum is an asshole. And I don't, I mean that partly joking, but also the lesson he's needing to learn is that he thought we said it earlier in this episode, he thinks he's being the good guy, but he's doing it in a selfish way. Yeah. He's doing it for selfish reasons. And that's what Kyra, is it Kyra?
Yeah, Kyra.
Kyra called him out on that, because again, as I said earlier, and I think this is what this all hinges on, is that it's not that Kyra is just being like super cool about it, being like, you know what? I didn't realize this. You got to go be free. I'm going to be nice. She's also pissed at him. She's like, you don't deserve to be my husband. Oh, you don't deserve to. Like, that's very subtle. They didn't stress it, but in that conversation, I noticed it particularly on the second watch through. She's saying that. She's saying like, you're going to abdicate. We're not going to get married because you're not the person I thought you were. Both, I think it's important for you to be that because I love you, but also I can't have the person I'm going to lead this world with start this whole business with a fucking lie.
I'm in love with
right?
Quill.
Like, I think people are not paying enough attention to that. And so I think because that's the story they're trying to tell, this is the way they had to resolve it. And that's why those other resolutions would not, I think, have fit the theme of this story. But anyway, that's my position on that.
I wanted a quick run through these as quick as possible. There's Delay and Caleb. I can run through. This is Caleb.
Delay and Caleb.
Where he's like putting off Terima. So number one, he deletes his message to Terima at the very beginning. Interestingly enough, the episode is sandwiched by him messaging and deleting, but then at the end, of course, he messages and sends it to her.
Another relatable scenario. Many of us have probably been in a similar, if less intense version of this storyline. So
he deletes the message, and which is implying he's probably done this multiple times over the past month. Number two, to Ake, he goes, I don't really know how to help her or how to be there for her, referring to Terima.
It's not about you.
So he goes, but I'm thinking of visiting. Oh, it's like a vague, like, well, I'm thinking of visiting. Like, that's the classic thing someone says when they don't, when they want someone to think that they're cool, but they're like, they don't have any plans to actually do it. And then number three, Genesis goes, is she coming back? Genesis live.
Genesis live.
Yes. Live. And Caleb goes, she's recovering. I'll probably go see her after the holiday, maybe later. Like, even without the maybe later, it was still wishy-washy.
Maybe spring break, maybe summer break.
Right. And then that's when she goes,
okay. Kind of a weird answer.
Mother. Then something falls. But she says kind of a weird answer, because it really is a weird answer. Yeah. So that's Delay and Caleb. Then Darum and Genesis, though, had two moments. Genesis shoots the warp slug goo with the
You mean Caleb in Genesis.
What did I say?
You said Darum.
Oh, you're right. I'm quite all right. I'm so stupid. Because Darum...
Not at all.
Because Darum, of course, couldn't help but give Kyle shit at the end, even though he said he was going to be nice to him. It was like he couldn't help it.
He's an asshole.
He's an asshole.
That's what's brilliant about his character.
It's like it was like a reflex. It's like he couldn't... He was like not in control of himself.
It almost looked like, and I'll give credit to the actor if this is the case, it almost looked like he was actually trying to hold back and then couldn't help it and then said
That's what it looked like.
It's like a moment, like a beat.
That's exactly.
And it's like,
that's what I'm saying.
Fuck you, you're an idiot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he physically couldn't help it.
Stupid sunburn, you goddamn twink. You cute, bouncy little twink.
But Caleb and Genesis had two moments. When Genesis shoots the warp slug, the slug that she's like, well, this is a slug, doesn't have warp capability. possibilities, and it happens to be a warp slug. But she shoots, and Caleb goes, "Yo, I would have never made that shot." And she goes, "And now we'll never know." Sad. And then they for a beat or two, they look at each other quietly for a few seconds in that uncomfortable silency kind of thing, and then they're like, I guess we should go. And then later, at the end, Genesis goes, "Thank you for trying to save me from my own crap." And Caleb goes, "Oh, you got enough of your own crap to deal with still." And she goes, "And you haven't stopped thinking about her, Tarima." And Caleb goes, "No, well, almost, for a moment." And then he looks right at Genesis, which means, of course, he was thinking about Genesis for some other time.
There's a callback to that previous moment.
Yeah. So there's
the funny Jet Reno bit.
Yeah. Oh, I like the background conversation of Laura Thok.
Yeah.
Here's one of them was
she's freaking out about because Jet's checking out her toes.
She broke a toe.
The toe is huge.
Yeah.
This was one of the sounds I was able to capture from because it was hard to capture the Laura Thok.
How is that worse? It's a toe.
How is that worse? It's a toe.
How is that worse? It's a toe.
And then what was it? The line.
She's like, "Don't die."
She goes, yeah, I've heard the story, how you held your intestines in with your own hand, sewed up the wound with your mouth, even though my hand was hanging by just one vein. That was what Laura Thok was saying. It was apparently Laura Thok sewed up grabbed her intestines off the ground, sewed them up in her stomach with her wrist hanging by one vein. So she's pretty hardcore.
So adorable.
Was hanging by just one vein.
And such a presence that even though we don't see her and can barely understand her, she still makes a huge impact on this episode in this little comedic part.
Yeah, and she's at the end. She's basically like, "Oh, you're okay? Okay, good." Yeah. It's like, "I can't live without you. Are you there? Don't die."
Yeah, right.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, good.
Like she's freaking
You're
out.
not gonna die.
I'm
furious.
She loves Reno so much, and she's so worried about her that she's getting furious at her about it.
Which is a fun way to characterize somebody who is both Klingon and Jem'Hadar, and that they're all like, "I'm brave about everything," but they're like, "I'm so fucking nervous about my partner. I love my partner."
Because she sort of conflates these two things. On the one hand, she's saying it's just a toe, it's not a big deal. I sewed up my own intestines with my vein, but at the same time, after she's downplaying Reno's injury, at the same time she's like, "Oh, it's okay, it's okay, good. I was so worried."
But Jet Reno's like, "This is the most sensitive digit there is, or something."
Yeah.
There's only two of them.
It's just like she's like simultaneously downplaying her injury and also worried about it at the same time. So yeah, so many conflicts.
So many conflicts.
I like them as a couple.
Any little bits and bobs? We of course get a clue that something's not quite right with Sam. She's off to a holotech research spa, something like that, in Denver, Colorado.
Denver.
Say hi to your mom for me. Was it Captain Ake who said, like, say hi to your dad for me to Genesis live?
Right.
And then I didn't have time to pull up the Biff Tannen in Back to the Future saying, say hi to your mom for me.
I didn't
which would be kind of the slant rhyme equivalent to a quotable, comedy bit. Because it's a mom instead of dad, so it doesn't quite match.
When they did the final shot of San Francisco, I like they zoomed up. You saw Alcatraz.
Yeah,
that's right.
We see Alcatraz a few times, and I really dig that they are doing such a nice job of orienting us that this is a place and it's an existing place. It's a recognizable place because
the weather always looks crazy.
Bridge and all that. Yeah, well, San Francisco.
I mean, I know they have
they don't. When I was in San Francisco, I enjoyed it. There was a lot of human feces.
Oh shit!
Neat.
All over the place.
I want to say
that was the main peculiar thing about that.
I want to say I enjoyed this episode. The end got a little bit cliche-y. Like I've been running.
They played some lame songs.
Yeah, and it's like I've been running my whole life, like that whole thing. It got a little like I thought it was a little excessive. I understand why they needed it because he finally had to speak his mind and tell Tarima how he felt. But to me, it was a little heavier than I. I mean, I'm not saying I'm against heavy emotion. In fact, I love heavy emotional things just as much as the next person.
These kids got to lighten up. Man.
But some I think it's sometimes the way it's presented. Maybe it had to do, Jesse, with the music they were playing.
Kids take shit seriously.
They played some lame song. I had to mute it.
It's kind of like when they were playing that UFO song when they were thrusting in the previous episode.
The thrusting. Oh yeah, that's right, Dan. For those who didn't listen to last week's episode, Dan was a little put off by the thrusting.
It's not that I have a problem with sex scenes.
He's no prude. Dan is no prude.
No, I'm not. It's just.
There was something.
It didn't feel necessary to me.
Scene. I enjoyed it.
I don't have a problem with the sex scene. I just didn't need to watch the hips thrust.
I think it's great that they showed Caleb Meir with his
just
eyes and cucumbers and his giant frame.
They should have just
silhouette, not silhouetted, lit up by the sun.
They can show them like under blankets wiggling around, but they didn't need the specific hip thrusting. It's like his penis is going in her vagina back and forth right now.
Perhaps Dan is a prude. Maybe I'm wrong.
I'm not a prude. I watch all sorts of sexy things with thrusting. I'm just saying there's a time and a place. It's not a showstopper. I'm just saying I would have preferred it was a slightly different. I still think it was a good episode.
We only briefly touched upon Genesis Lythe's imposter syndrome. I don't know if there's too much to discuss about that other than, like I said, it is a relatable plot and it is something that makes sense for a high achiever like Genesis and just Genesis. Thank you, Dan. But I think it's something a lot of people who are watching this will have experience with at one stage of their life or another.
Two quick things. I want to see Darum's hair pre-Starfleet because Kyra commented on how she liked his haircut. Yeah. So now I want to know if he had long locks, sort of like how Caleb did before.
Or maybe he had
a mohawk.
Maybe he had like a really close crew cut.
I doubt it.
Maybe
because people don't usually comment on people's
with like
a
big D,
a big D on the side,
on the side shaved into side D for Daryl.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. They have every once in a while Star Trek introduces a new way to transport a person. Mm-hmm. Now we have our classic transporter, but there was I don't remember if it was Discovery or Strange New Worlds. They had a different way of transporting people. I can't remember the episode or show, but I remember specifically they had some different way of transporting. This episode they had another new way of transporting people, and it's how Kionians do that. And they said it was like an artificial single point wormhole is how Caleb Darum described it. It wasn't an artificial single point wormhole. Darum described it saying it was like an artificial single point wormhole.
How could it be like one?
It was
how could it like a single
It was like an artificial single point wormhole.
I myself am partial to the Iconian gateways, first introduced in Star Trek: The Next Generation. That's what I'm into.
Okay, now I wish we had a camera because the way you spun your finger around on your knee as you were saying that made it almost looked sheepish in a way. But I know you too well to think of you as sheepish. So.
It may have been some.
This guy's a wolf.
I'm in a bit of a sheepish mood.
If I break it, I fix it.
And we would be remiss if we did not make reference to the
Ake's suitcase being too big.
Well, no, that's funny too. I was just going to. You feel free to bring that up. I was going to bring up the fact that the Talaxian Furfly saga continues. It's just been building up episode by episode.
Do you think
it'd be funny if in the 10th episode, we got 2 episodes left or 3 episodes left, and fucking at the end it's just like the Talaxian Furfly morphs and eats, it kills everybody. Everyone's dead.
Do you think in the trauma episode when they mentioned the maneuver, the Firefly maneuver, do you think that's a reference?
In the previous episode?
In the previous
fly away.
Do you think
is that what? Yeah, something like that.
Come
fly away.
No, it wasn't come fly away. It was
come fly with me.
No, it was come away.
Come fly.
It was away fly.
No, I think it was
come let's away.
It wasn't
come let's away. That's
come
what
let's
it was.
away. Thank you, Jesse. The maneuver was called Fireflies. That kind of sounds like
it was like little fireflies or something.
But it's what my
tiny fireflies. I don't want to get the emails.
Nobody's gonna fucking email.
You got the term.
We're gonna get them.
Jesus Christ!
Type, you got the term.
We're getting into the realm of I can't finish the sentence again.
Send a review and get an FU.
It sounds Firefly. This is the 3rd time I've tried to say this, by the way. Fireflies kind of sounds like furfly.
For real, it does. Yeah, firefly.
I hadn't made that
Firefly, furfly.
Now I do not know yet whether or not that is a spurious connection.
Spurious?
Spurious.
A spurious correlation?
But I I'm glad you observed
Oh, it's
that.
spurious, baby.
I also liked when Genesis Live, because I didn't catch it the first time I watched it, when Genesis Live said that her dad got a gig giving a talk on Ursa Nowhere.
Yeah, I know, right?
Because at the first time I was just like, oh, I was taking her seriously. I was like, oh yeah, her dad.
Good old Ursa Nowhere.
Now I realized she was lying, and
she was
just like,
lying.
Ursa Nowhere, Ursa Nowhere. This
And-
guy's taking any old gig he can get.
Jaden had clomp stomping boots on Kionia, and he looked like he was wearing, what do you call the TNG skirt onesies? What do you call it?
Scant.
Right.
It looked like he was wearing a scant.
He did. He was.
I think he had a scant in the debate episode. There was one recent episode.
But
I think that's his deal.
It looked like he had a scant, like leggings and those clomp stomping boots.
He's wearing the clomp stomping boots a couple times.
But it's so exaggerated because of the tight leggings and the scant that he's wearing.
I dig the scant.
And it kind of reminded me again of the 90s grunge thing a little, except exaggerated because that's not quite, because the scant looks like the hangy flannel shirt and the and the pants.
I got you. Like as if he was had just tied a flannel.
Right. And he's got
instead of
boots.
sleeves, there's just no sleeves. The scant is the flannel without the sleeves.
Yeah, and he's got
the flannel pattern.
And then he's got the tights, which are just jeans, I guess. But they didn't really have skinny jeans back in grunge era, but so maybe it's a mix of grunge and skinny jeans era. I don't know, but he has a very specific look, especially with those boots.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. Anything else we should talk about this episode before we close things down?
Boobity boop boop.
We'll take that as a note from Dan. Jesse, how about you?
No, I think that covers it.
Okay, good. Another great episode.
Yes.
Next week, we will be discussing the life of the stars.
Oh.
I have it on good authority that it marks the return, brief that it may be, the return of Lieutenant Tilly.
I was waiting for that.
Right. So we look forward to talking about that
Spoiler!
episode next week.
Spoiler! If you go back in time.
All right. Send in your guesses for where the hell have I heard that before.
Declare yourself.
To feedback at It's Got Star Trek by Friday.
What if it's too late? I thought I had more time.
You know, if it's funny enough, maybe we'll read it the following week. But definitely send those in, or if you have any questions, comments, missives, that sort of thing, you can contact us there or at It's Got Star Trek on most of those social media sites. But
You're a shoo-in.
we're particularly active on Blue Sky. Check us out there. And Facebook, of course. YouTube, if you wouldn't mind. Search for It's Got Star Trek on YouTube and subscribe to us.
Do us a favor.
Do we have a duty or no duty?
Kionia is my purpose.
We have a duty or no
Used to
duty.
be yours too, but now it's your duty. And it shouldn't be. How should I be?
No duty.
Duty.
No duty.
It's a no duty.
Clearly.
It's almost
I think
lame
it's
that
a
I
no
played it,
duty.
but I would have been.
No,
She's so
it's
royal that it has to.
It
It's
is
so
important.
clearly.
Yeah,
a no.
of course. Oh, you know that she would have said no duty.
I actually I have a note here that says, whatever you do, don't forget the duty.
Whatever you duty, don't duty.
But I'm not reading
It is your duty.
Okay. Was there any other duty or no duties?
No,
or
that
was
was
this
it.
the one?
That was just the one.
Yes. But if you wouldn't mind, subscribe to us on YouTube.
Some things can't stay hidden.
We don't do like a video podcast. We put the audio up there with a static image, custom designed for that particular
Maybe
episode.
someday.
There are those who don't find out
You can watch it on your
until
TV.
it's too late.
Watch it on your TV as you're puttering around doing chores. That's an option. Or don't worry about it at all. Just subscribe to us for fun.
I like to
What are you
putter.
worried about?
You don't got to listen to us on there. You can listen to us the way you're listening to us now. But just
Bow
subscribe.
your head.
Subscribe on YouTube because it's helpful. It's helpful to us. So we really appreciate
Okay.
it. All right. Yeah. So that's
Okay.
it. That's it.
Okay.
Spacko.
Spacko.
Oh man.
Oh, now Dan has to. This is where the belly dancing people come out and just like laugh-in style. All right. All right. Well, Talk to you again next week. We will no doubt provide you yet another overlong episode next week.
Oh my God.
Just as folks, normally we stick to 90 minutes, but it's been
crazy lately.
It's been goofy.
My notes have been longer too.
Everything's just
There's so much to talk about.
It's because these episodes are like an hour long.
That's what I'm saying. That's great. They're giving us fucking like over hour-long episodes, not like fucking Picard where they're like, hey, here's a fucking 25-minute episode. Bullshit episode. Anyway, all right.
Every episode is a lesson.
We will talk to you again next week. Goodbye.
Time to go.
Have a good all worlds. Okay, Kenda 2. Have a good all worlds.
Thank you, Professor.
Istanbul. Have a good all worlds.
You too, Professor.
Duluth. Can I talk you out of this? No? Okay, have a good all worlds.